So let's start by ending this particular topic of labor movements over here. Okay, so we'll be discussing today different acts passed by the government that in the time frame of this labor movements. Okay, so we'll be giving the heading as factory acts. Okay, what are the provisions? You just need to buy heart this all things. Okay, factory acts. The first one is the Factory Act of 1881, the first basic act. Okay, the Factory Act of 1818. Government passed this particular acts for the welfare of the workers and owners. Okay, and demanded the recommendations of the people, whatever the recommendations of the people to be fulfilled. Okay, so the first act in this particular series was called as Factories Act of 1881. Okay, so what were the provisions? Okay, in this particular provisions, the request of mill owners was accepted, and the first act came. Okay, so this particular act, the nature of this particular act was mild and limited. Okay, it was just implemented to the industries having more than 100 workers only. Only if a particular industry has more than 100 workers, only to that industry it would be there, or else it was not present. Okay, then 7 to 12 years child labor wasn't allowed. Okay, and older means what? 12 and plus children's till you get an age of mature. Okay, till you get mature, older children's not to be given 9 plus hours of work. These were some provisions of the 1881 act. Okay, after this particular act, okay, what happened? One more act came, Factory Act of 1891. Okay, what happened was in the year 1890 there was a Berlin conference where discussion on problems of women and child labor was carried. Okay. Berlin Conference discussion on problems of women and child labor was carried over here. Okay, so here under the presidentship of Major Lethbridge, okay, Lethbridge, under the presidentship of Lethbridge, government appointed a commission. What government has done? Government has appointed a commission under Lethbridge. Okay, and this commission, whatever reports this commission gave, okay, report of this commission is nothing but the Act of 1891. Sorry, 1891. Okay, which came into action from 1st of Jan 1892. It came into action from 1st of Jan 1892. Okay, what were the provisions over here? Okay, so the definition of industry was changed, where more than 50 workers are working for more than 4 months is called as factory. Initially, it was just 100 workers. Wherever there are more than 100 workers, it is called as factory. But now they have changed the provision. What they have said, where 50 plus workers are working for more than 4 months, then only that particular location would be called as factory. Okay. Second thing, what they have done, working hours for women was fixed. How much it was? 11 hours with half hour lunch break. Okay. And also, the woman should not be called before 6 a.m. and after 6:30 p.m. was the condition laid. Okay, women cannot be called before 6 a.m. and after 6:30 p.m. This was the condition laid by this particular act. Also, they had said that Sundays will be weekly off. Okay, and also labor should be provided. Labor should be given sufficient facilities such as water to eat, a place to water to drink, a place to eat their food, toilet facilities and all. Okay, the basic amenity should be provided to the workers. These all things were mentioned in this particular act. Okay, then finally you have the third Factory Act. Factory Act of 1911. It was the outcomes of the report of Smith Commission. Okay, output of the report of Smith Commission. Now, what were the provisions of this particular act? Okay, children's, the main focus of children could work only for 6 hours. The main provision, children could work only for 6 hours. Okay, maximum 6 hours. Okay, second thing was no night shift for women. Okay, it also fixed the hours for what you can say males, that is 12 hours work fixed for male. Okay, next thing was 9 to 14 years. Okay, not to work for more than 630 hours or 6.5 hours. They should not work for more than 6.5 hours. These were the condition which was put forth in the Factory Act of 1911. You guys need to buy heart it. There is no other way for that. Okay, you need to buy heart it. There is no other way or other solution to it. Okay, then came the Act of 1938. Act of 1938, which came to regulate the child labor. Okay, this particular act, what it did, it banned child labor. Just let me see the number. Yeah. Okay, it banned the children's below 15. It banned the children's below 15 in railways and docks. Okay, and then in the next year, you can say in 1838, 1938, in 1939, sorry, okay, 1939, children's bill, there was an update to it, or there was an amendment to it, that children's below 12 not to be employed in matchmaking, in matchbox making. This was a provision of this act to regulate child labor. Okay, 1938. Next was Factory Act of 1948. Okay, so this was the act made by Indian government. So the government made this act more extensive. The government made this particular act more extensive. What were the provisions of this particular act? Okay, it was applicable to a place where 10 plus workers are working with machineries, or 20 plus workers are working without machineries. Okay, maximum work, how much? 8 hours a day or 48 hours a week, not more than that. You cannot work more than that. Okay, now the children who were below 14 not to be employed in any work, or to be specific in, sorry, BD manufacturing, in road constructions, in transports, in leathers, etc. They're not to be employed over here. Okay. Next thing was, you can say central government could, just a minute. Yeah, it was about the woman, not that. Just a minute. One mistake. Yeah, women also could work only for 8 hours. Okay, they cannot work for more than 8 hours. And sorry, they can work for more than 8 hours, but the only condition is not after 7 p.m. and not before 6 p.m. Okay, and the industry which is having 500 plus workers, okay, the industry which is having 500 plus workers should employ a labor welfare, officer. These were the provisions of Factory Act 1948. Okay, and after this particular thing, we have one more act in our book, that is about the Minimum Wage Act of 1940, the last act in this particular series. Okay, what government did? Government has fixed the minimum wages in 13 unorganized sectors. What government has done? It has fixed the minimum wage in 13 unorganized sectors. Okay, and this sector mainly consisted of wool sector. Okay, sorry. Then rice industry, flour mill, tobaccos, BD, road construction, transport, and leather. Okay, this particular thing, what they've done, they have made this thing fixed. Okay, now they have given one more provision. What was it? Central government to fix and revise the minimum wage. Means what, the state government is not having a right to do so. Okay, the revising of the minimum wages could be done only by the central government. Okay, due to the industrial progress, labor unions were also formed. Okay, our labor movements were given more weight to this particular thing. Okay, labor movements were uh, labor unions were legalized, you can say. Okay, then you can say there was a huge strike in 1982. Okay, in what you can say textile industry. Okay, there was a huge strike in 1982 in the textile industry, and to overcome this particular thing, what government has done? Government has nationalized 13 textile mills. Nationalized. What government has done? It has nationalized 13 textile mills by putting 140 crores for their modernization. Okay, not only this much, but in the year 1985, government has framed a new textile policy. Okay, which emphasized on synthetic thread, mechanization, and modernization. Okay, this badly affected cotton mills. Okay, and later, what happened? The augmentation of computers led to cut in labor, leading to unemployment. Okay. So this was some of the minute changes which occurred, but later this particular thing, unemployment was again converted to employment through skill. That is, IT made this particular boon as well in the future. Okay. So this was about the labor movement in Maharashtra. The upcoming session we'll be discussing about the movements in the context of Dalits. Okay, we'll be discussing about the movements of the Dalits in the upcoming session. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this particular session and you've got the insights of what exactly these things are and how the things work. Okay. So if you have any queries, you can comment in the comment box and let me know. Do share your feedbacks about my sessions. Okay. Chalo, have a good day. Bye.